Hey, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Tuesday's Market Intel Brief. Had a great live trade brief this morning at 10 a.m. The replay is posted in case you missed it. Had some sound issues towards the end. Don't know what's going on with that. I think it actually is a bandwidth problem. Everybody working from home and kids going to school online, slowing stuff down. But majority of the brief is on there. go.topgunoptions.com/FT replay. You can watch this morning's. You can watch yesterday's weekly options brief in addition to the welcome aboard brief. And as of me getting on here and talking right now, we have 21 full throttle max memberships left. To grab yours, head to go.topgunoptions.com/FT-cart. We have another brief tonight at 7 o'clock. I'm going to give you a sample of the type of training you're going to get when you become a full throttle member. And tomorrow afternoon, we're going to do a brief at 1 o'clock, an E-Trade demo. Robert from E-Trade is going to come and give us a demo of their platform. Good looking stuff. And then Thursday, I added a full throttle session. I'm going to do solo Amazon in case folks can't get on board. We do have quarterly memberships available, actually. topgunoptions.com/FT-max-quarterly. Guess I could probably make that a little easier URL. I'll get on that. But for now, FT-max-quarterly. Obviously, the annual membership is cheaper than the quarterly, but if you want to give it a try for the next quarter, $7.97. Okay, covered this in the brief today. Great letter from Jamie Dimon to his shareholders. I wouldn't say it was to the shareholders, actually more to America. Just knocked it out of the park, being pretty blunt as to where we are, but also giving some good hope. I thoroughly thrilled with this. Love Jamie Dimon and JP Morgan. This is on our list of longs that we are actually going to end up getting long. Eventually, JP Morgan's we're gonna see a rip your face off rally. It's gonna be up here north of $100 pretty soon. So make sure you read that. When he says we're in for a bad recession, when a guy like that says bad recession, as soon as it hit my ears, that's a depression. We're most likely going to hit a depression here unless we get back to work. In China taking over the world news, China sold nearly 4 billion masks to other countries over the past month. So they're our banker, folks. They own $1.3 trillion of our debt, and nobody can tell me why the President of the United States hasn't gotten up and said, you know what, Xi, my good friend, great backswing. He's good man, friend, respect him. Really? How about all that $1.3 trillion is gone and you send him an invoice for another $1 trillion, Mr. President? I have no idea what you're waiting for. Literally, they're our mortgage holder, right? And they burnt our house down and we're still kissing their ass. It's insane. The UK Prime Minister is still, from what I understand, I think they're giving a briefing in about 45 minutes. He hasn't been vented. He's just on O2, which is great news. The mortality rate for people who get on vents is 85-ish%. That's bad. Think about it, folks. If you're on a vent, if you got a machine breathing for you, you're on your way out. So prayers for our cousins over there across the pond. Coronavirus corruption. 430,000 Chinamen and women have come here since January, and 40,000 since the shutoff, quote unquote. It's not good news. And by the way, people are getting reinfected. Coronavirus can hide in cells and reactivate later. 51, I think this was in the UK. People are testing positive again and getting it again. So this whole herd mentality I think I had it in second week in January, man. I was laid out for a week. Thought I was dying, man. And that was probably it. But now I'm reading that you can get it again. I hope that's not the case. Added to my bearish EWZ positions, this guy's just he's a complete clown. He's making Trump look stable. So I added another bear call spread on to the existing one I did on EWZ yesterday. This thing was imploding, and then there's a short squeeze, invisible hand of God. It's up today, just on the overall market up. I fully expect this thing to be going down. Bolsonaro's in a lot of trouble. This thing's overblown. Get back to work. It's a little flu. I mean, the guy's just completely become unhinged. And all the governors in Brazil are more or less saying, this dude's nuts. We're going to take care of this at our level. Sound familiar? So bearish on EWZ. Again, I'm predicting. Let me say this. This was easy money. This is hard money. This is trading right here. This isn't investing right now. Cash is a position. So as soon as you get your full throttle slot, get on board and start watching the full throttle videos, the training videos from session 1. This is the market all the way up to the advanced tactics, and get in there, download the manuals, and start reading those. So use this time not to get into anything, in my opinion. This was easy. This is hard. The next easy will be the next when we rock it up. I didn't say if, I said when. We will get through this. The markets will recover. We're already starting, or I'm predicting that we're going to get a little coronavirus fatigue. I mean, at a certain point, the market's just going to tune this out. What's another couple hundred people dying type of attitude, and the market's going to look forward. But we, in my opinion, who is this? What's his name? My spirit animal, Jeffrey Gunlock. Sent this out. This is this is a bull trap. This whole there's light at the end of the tunnel. We haven't seen the fear, the capitulation, or the despair. I'm still hearing, businesses aren't getting the loans. People haven't been called back. You can't. Wells Fargo's done lending. They hit their 10 billion cap, and they're not lending anymore. Apparently, the Senate, Mitch McConnell's working on bailout package 4 here, and we haven't even seen the money from 3. So this is, this is a short squeeze bear rally, and these things end. This is trading. There's nobody I talk to that's actually trading the hell out of this and pushing the short squeeze higher is buying anything. I added some Apple today. Bought 200 shares and sold an upside call against it out to next Friday. So that's some good stuff right there. Nice, consistent, because money has to go somewhere, folks. I think Apple is going to go down with the next leg down in the market, but selling some at the money or slightly out of the money upside calls against it is a nice way to bring in a little scratch. So we'll talk about that tonight. So I had a bear call spread on Grub. That's in a little bit of trouble right now. But again, Thursday is when the trades expire, and the short squeezes end, folks. They take about 2 to 3 days to unwind a short squeeze. But Grub's in trouble, Uber's in trouble, Lyft's in trouble. Do you really, is this guy infected bringing you your dinner, or did the cook infected? Do you want to get in an Uber right now? It makes no sense to be bullish on any of those names. I'm going to pound them into the dirt. If companies aren't buying their stock, who is? That's a great point. Massive amount of companies, use Trump's tax stuff to do what? Buy their own share. U.S. Airlines won a $50 billion bailout. They spent $45 billion buying back their own stock. Hey, CEO of American, why don't you go sell the shares that you bought to raise some cash instead of getting it from us? Not fair. Still long Gilead, Regeneron, and Moderna calls. People racing to try and get a cure. We're going to hold on to those names. The NFIB came out today, National Federation of Independent Business. The small business optimism, imploded. Just completely. It crashed by the most ever. Small businesses are literally getting hammered. They're getting destroyed. And where's the bottom? Exxon might start nibbling in this, kind of like an Apple and Exxon. Exxon ain't going out of business. The president said, hey, we got to save these great American energy companies. I don't know what he means by that, but this might be a good stock to look at. Drop their CapEx or capital expenditures by 30%, man. That's insanity. But if you buy Chevron, you could buy shares in Chevron and Exxon, get a little dividend if they get back on their feet, and sell some upside calls, and that's a nice conservative policy too. Added a bear call spread on Vail Mountain Resorts today. It's, quote, fairly valued. I don't even it's bad. This is a huge article in the Wall Street Journal last night about how Vail, this is February, folks. Look at that picture. This is February, end of February. People, these like 500 rich, wealthy Mexicans went to Vail and hung out, and everybody got sick. So I'm very bearish on Vail Mountain Resorts Mountain. New York City restaurateurs plead with landlords for rent forgiveness and deferment. This is the next shoe to drop, folks. Is the mortgage companies and the banks. They can't. Nobody's paying their mortgage or the rent in these restaurants. There's somebody on the other side of that. There's somebody expecting the rent and the mortgage payment and not getting it is going to lead to a circular firing squad and an implosion. Companies cite new government benefits in cutting workers. Check this out. Employers factor in extra federal pay in deciding how to handle their workforces. It made that part of the decision more palatable, meaning that some employees, who's this? This is the chairman of Equinox, the sports complex, the gym. We believe most will be better off receiving government assistance during our closure. Whoa. Okay, so let's clip everybody so they can go be dependent on the government. Wow. That's a little disturbing. Okay, I got to get going. I got a 4 o'clock webinar, I think, over at whatever the hell that place is called. And then tonight, 7 o'clock, we'll do some sample spread training or just basic options training. Maybe just basic calls and puts here for folks that are new. Again, probably have about 20-ish, 21 before I jumped on the air here, slots remaining. And we're going to close those memberships once we fill up. The annual is go.topgunoptions.com/FT-cart. And then if you want to test it out with a quarterly, you can go FT-max-quarterly. Okay. All right, guys, have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge. God bless, and I'll see many of you tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern.